Alright, stand for this one. It's all about food and the shoddy service that you can get by using third-party delivery apps to not leave the comfort of your own home. The year was 2004. Mike Evans and Matt Maloney start what you know today as GrubHub, a place on the web where you can find restaurants and eateries locally in your area. But there was no major delivery service yet. All major cities were still using taxis.
Taxi!
In 2013 to 2015, Tony Zhu, Stanley Tang, Andy Fang, and Evan Moore started a food delivery service called Palo Alto Delivery. What? In 6 years, they changed their name to DoorDash because Palo Alto's delivery was not catchy enough of a name. Eventually, GrubHub would offer delivery with the around the neighborhood service. Then Uber walks onto the scene and they realize they're not making enough money from ride sharing. So they decide they want to do food delivery service. And then they decide to birth the name Uber Fresh. Catchy. The next year they changed their name to what we all know now as Uber Eats and made it a separate app from Uber. That's right, they used to deliver humans and food under the same tree. In fact, the riders would get a discount if they agreed to actually holding other people's food while in the car. Uber Fresh. 2019 was a pretty dramatic year in the food delivery service world. Even The Bachelorette said, damn.
Hi.
Hello, it's so nice to meet you. My name is John Paul Jones. My friends call me John Paul Jones. So you can call me John Paul Jones.
GrubHub was accused of creating 23,000 domain names for restaurants that didn't have any without the restaurant's permission. Meanwhile, Mike Evans and Matt Maloney claimed that restaurants agreed to the new domains as an advertising benefit. Then we enter the biggest problem that affected everybody. Tips. People who delivered for DoorDash were experiencing a loss in promised tips. When a driver would go take an order, they'd make $5 guaranteed from the trip itself, without knowing if they were even going to get tipped. Think of this as a processing fee. You were promised to make $5 on the delivery, but when the person tipped, you only got $3 from doing the delivery. So you lost $2. You kind of see where it's getting a little, bad? And to throw just a little bit of gasoline on that fire, DoorDash had a data breach exposing themselves, restaurants, drivers, people that ordered the food. Meanwhile, the local peasants like you and I, assuming you don't do it, that's why you're watching this video, us, the people that don't actually go and use these third-party apps, never had a data breach. We're just like regular civilians, regular humans. We're fine. Okay, now we've made it to 2020. DoorDash went through some serious shit. That's all I'm saying. DoorDash is in another tip and wage scandal.
That's shocking.
You hear that? Someone yelled, shocking. I heard it. Someone did the math and found out that the hourly wage was $1.45 when you weigh out your time, gas money, and taxes. All 4 apps were guilty of removing or lowering the search results for a restaurant if they add an additional fee to pay the takeaway worker on top of the DoorDash delivery or the Uber delivery. Those restaurants would get removed or lowered to the bottom of the list. And even better than this, GrubHub starts listing restaurants on their app without restaurants' permission. As a result, customers were placing orders on GrubHub and eventually got mad because their food never showed up because the restaurant and GrubHub had no agreement of any kind. GrubHub even went ahead and decided they were going to list old menu items that they don't have anymore, and that even made it worse for restaurants. It damaged reputations, it claimed bad reviews. GrubHub really screwed over some restaurants. Now those restaurants that still want to tolerate places like GrubHub and keep their name on the list still do it to this day as a way to still make some money, still sell some food. But it's kind of a decision if you want to be on it, if you don't want to be on it. They haven't had any scandals since. Now that has been your brief history for third-party food delivery apps. Now let's dig into the concept known as laziness. The term can be defined as the quality of being unwilling to work or use energy. So when the term couch potato came out, it wasn't intended to also have a smartphone in your hand. and eliminate the idea of actually walking to the fridge. What a perfect storm! Stranger Things 4 and food delivery service right to your door. But it's not a pizza delivery guy, it's some rando that drives a box car, proudly ate half the food, smokes a lot of crack, and then bada bing bada boom. At your door, at your convenience.
Hey!
But is it really a convenience? No, don't order from the restaurant and go and pick it up yourself. Or heaven forbid, you have it delivered by an actual delivery driver that actually works at the restaurant, that actually knows the food and actually cares kind of about it. And just looking into the future, if these food delivery services had permission by you to unlock your house so they can walk inside, give you the food while you're sitting on the couch, sitting in a pile of your own and sweat, would you let them do it? Comments, anybody? Okay, next, let's open Pandora's box and let's look at something I like to call logic. Simply put, logic is the study of correct reasoning. Now let me just throw something your way for a minute, okay? Just short of having a disability, loss of limbs, old age, or anything else that applies, you wouldn't let a stranger wipe your would you? Turn off the music. Okay, this is serious. The concept of wiping your is your hand and some toilet paper, and your hand in your Notice how I said your hand. Your Now, why say no to a stranger wiping your Well, for starters, they may do a real job. Huh? You like that? They might wipe the wrong area, they might get their hands stuck because they shoved it up too far, or who knows what else could go wrong. Only the rich and the willing should be able to have their wiped. So, you're wondering, with this bit of logic that I've thrown your way, what does this have to do with online food delivery? Well, delivery apps do kind of act as that additional unnecessary step in the whole process of, getting food that you didn't even make. And Squidward had said it best.
I order the food, you cook the food, then the customer gets the food.
So Squidward simplified it for us in our youth. Nowhere in that episode did he say,
then put the food on a random shelf that anyone can take food off of with absolutely no proof of purchase.
And someone could take the wrong food, which leads back to the history lesson I just gave about restaurants getting bad reviews for the wrong orders, or didn't even know they had an order placed because they weren't even a part of the system, which is something that is out of the restaurant's hands. So just as having someone else wipe your as an additional unnecessary step where things could go wrong, these delivery app drivers are wiping their with your food that they're bringing to your front door. You don't go to pay for groceries, and when they ask you can pay by cash or card today, do you turn around to some random stranger and you say, hold on, let me have this guy check my payment types first before I answer your question?